Perfume Diary, dear diary. So today another podcast again from me. Today, as you can see, today I will talk about the perfumes that surprise me. So as you can see in the first picture, this is Petite Robe Noir EDP Couture, Eau de Parfum Couture. So this is a fragrance that looks juicy, looks yummy. It can even look a bit girlish, but the fact that it is totally not just really blows me away. Now let's talk about my experience and opinions about this fragrance. So when I first got it, this is the last Petite Robe Noir that I bought for myself. Out of the range of this perfume. And when I first got it, I was expecting something else, like something sweeter or something with a much more fruitier, fresher, or even more rosy kind of scent. But at first, when I sprayed it, the first time that I sprayed it, it really wasn't all that I have expected. It really shocked me because in the beginning, I didn't like it. To be honest, I thought that there was something quite masculine about this. So when I checked the notes again, there I have it. The notes at the base that really changed the whole story of this fragrance. It really gives a twist to this fragrance. Now, what is in the base that really makes it quite different is that it has vetiver and oak moss and also a dark patchouli. But I wouldn't say that this is a very patchouli scented fragrance. In the beginning, I get this fresh raspberry, but it's nothing like very sweet. It's nothing like that. It's just a fresh fruitiness. Well, if you are expecting something like a juicy, something cakey, something so sweet, like some kind of raspberry candy or some kind of raspberry jam, that can be totally out. That is totally not that kind of raspberry. It's just a very simplistic raspberry freshness in the beginning, but the simplicity just evaporates when the complexity comes out to play. This fragrance is then topped up with the middle note of this rose. This rose, it's nothing quite green. Also, it's nothing jammy. It's a blooming rose in the morning. It actually complements the fresh raspberry in the beginning. So this is the stage that I realized that actually this is not as sweet as other Petite Robe Noir range, Then as it dries down some more, something darkens a little bit. There is oak moss, the moss and the woodiness, the grassiness of this vetiver. Yes, there is vetiver oak moss. So it really smells kind of like you pluck the rose and then you walk into this forest and you inhale the nature. And all this time of wearing, I get this lovely waft of this rose and moss and raspberry. In a way, it is quite niche. The way it develops and the way the notes are blended are quite niche. It's not designery at all, and it projects really well. It lingers around me, and I start to really know it and love it. So this is definitely a lovely surprise for me. I would say the more I wear it, the more I like it, I love it. I can understand why I couldn't enjoy it in the beginning. Perhaps I wasn't used to the note of oak moss and all that. But now, after years of sniffing so many perfumes and I smell this again, this is just wonderful. Another fragrance that has surprised me is Hermes, and it is Elixir de Merveilles. This actually, if you look at the notes, you would expect something like a salty, like something a bit gourmand. But it's really not just what it looks like of a Grantica based on a note breakdown. I would say I get a very mature kind of impression out of this perfume. This is an amber-based perfume. Imagine you have this amber, very gold, very sparkling amber scent. It's very uplifting and together with the amber, it is not matched with other notes like labdanum, very very strong sticky base, resinous. It's not really resinous, it's very light in, it's the lightest in the most resinous way. Am I making any sense? So this actually has a salty note in here. It actually, I can really taste the saltiness on my skin after spraying this perfume, as if a layer of salt has been rubbed on my body, like I have just gotten up from the beach, from the sandy beach. I kind of get this salty air in my hair, that kind of thing. So this perfume actually portrays that feeling, the salty air that is still left on the skin, in your hair after a long day at the beach. So this, other than the saltiness and the amber, what is really making this fragrance a little bit more extra kick, there is the sandalwood. I think I get a very, not to say creamy, but it's not woody. It's like in the middle, like it's a very strong base that ground the whole thing, not making it too resinous or too woody or too gourmand. Well, I'm not even sure if there's a note of sandalwood listed on the Fragrantica, but I just get that tiny bit of woody something that grounds the whole thing. And the amber, the saltiness, the woodiness from the sandalwood is mixed all together, and with a tiny bit touch of this caramel. Well, if you know Hermes, if you know Jean-Claude Ellena, maybe this is his job. I mean, this is his creation, because it clearly has a signature DNA of this Hermes, thing going on. Hermes, they can make everything that sounds sticky, looks sticky, feels sticky in real life, just light and airy and very elegant in a perfume. So this caramel is not sticky at all in this fragrance. I was completely shocked, and maybe just a tiny little bit of it that makes it so light and delightful, and it's not sticky at all. And to top up with all this wonderful, very heavy base, there is this very juicy, refreshing note of mandarin orange. I think that is the most wonderful creation of all these notes blended together. This fragrance, I thought that it would be light, but you know what? It just lingers around me and I can smell it. I wore it before bedtime, and when I woke up the next morning, I can still smell it. So imagine, I smell like well, I definitely think that, this fragrance really makes me feel like I have had an exotic adventure the night in my dreams at the beach somewhere. Well, ignore my nonsense blabbering. I'm coming to the end of this podcast, and so here are the two perfumes in my collection that I find surprising, and it doesn't smell the way it looks. Well, if you have anything to say to me, if you have tried any of this perfume before, do let me know in the comment down below. Although I may not be replying much, because I don't know, sometimes I just feel like I'm talking to myself on this channel. But yeah, it is fun sometimes to read at comments, and I'll try to reply one by one if I don't forget. I'm honest, yeah. So please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.